Good evening, everybody. This is the uh, meeting of the Avon Lake Municipal Utilities Board, the Board of Municipal Utilities for the City of Avon Lake. Today's date is June 3rd. It's a rescheduled meeting from our normal Tuesday meeting. We're meeting on Wednesday at this time with proper notification to everybody. With us tonight is to my left is Nick Mondello from the board. To my right, we have Dave Ricky and Dana Schnabel. And tonight, without objection, Mr. Dwanzik is not here, and without objection, his absence is excused. Also with us today is Mr. Robin Monroe, the our Chief Utilities Executive, and Greg Garanich, the Chief of Utility Operation. Also with us is outside counsel, Mr. Anthony Coyne. All right, we are being live streamed tonight. We apologize for the last meeting with the audio being out, technical difficulties, but we're being live streamed on Facebook Live and on YouTube. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from
May 19th.
May 19th. Is any corrections or additions to those minutes? Okay, without any changes, they are approved as published. Next item on the agenda will be public input. Nobody here in the audience. Is there anyone in the internet?
I don't see any comments online.
Very good, thank you. Next item on the agenda is correspondence. Mr. Monroe.
I do not have any correspondence to pass along this evening.
Thank you. Any other correspondence from the board? Okay. Next item is expenditures on our golden rods. Mr. Ricky, would you care to make a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Avon Lake Regional Water expenses dated May 15th through May 28th of 2026.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, Mrs. Schnabel. Discussion.
I do have a question about the, do you guys, on the first page, line item 23, actuator repairs at the water filtration plant? Right, do you know what, I was just curious what that is.
So on any of the valves that we have, there are motorized electronic actuators. They open and close the valves. So if we're making adjustments to which filters are in use, changing the flow anywhere within the plant, the operators can make those changes on the SCADA, the computerized control, and those actuators will open and close. And I believe there was 2 that they had to have repaired.
Okay. So that's not related to the new construction or anything. That's just existing things, that ongoing maintenance type stuff.
Okay. Any other comments on the expenditures?
I'd just like to make a comment, if I could.
Certainly.
And this is involving items on 701 fund from 14 through, I guess, 14, 15, 16, 17, kind of the medical mutual and some of the other larger items that we have that we still have 61% of the budget remaining. And at this time of year, that's right on target. So I'm just kind of saying that looking at the percent of budget remaining on a lot of these, we're really doing very well for being the first week of June with our budgets, which is good. I know we're going to have to make some adjustments towards the end of the year. That always happens, but especially on healthcare, it's encouraging to see that we budgeted our budget and the reality are meeting up pretty close. So that's a good sign, I think, because that's really one of our larger expenses through the year.
It is. And as a reminder to everyone, when we signed our agreement with Medical Mutual, we partner, our employees are part of this with the City of Avon Lake. Employees were a group plan. We had no rate increases this year, and which was tremendous for current state of economy with all costs going up. So, but I can tell you that those specific items that you're talking about, Mr. Ricky, that you can attribute that to Mr. Logan. He's worked very hard over the last couple of years. Our allocations of which employees are paid out of which budgets, you know, it helped splitting out our distribution and our collection funds to create their own funds, so you can attribute employees to those. Previously, we used to pay them half of the year out of water, half of the year out of sewer. Sometimes that gets a little convoluted, but you're right there. We're doing very well on those line items.
That's all
Thank
I
you.
have. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I did have one other question.
Okay.
On Fund 723, down towards the bottom, like, it's actually all the same company, but it looks like it's, maybe, I can't tell if it's for different locations, because one says water reclamation facility, the other say 33655 Lake Zone. So are those items for the trailers that you guys are operating out of? Is that, I was just kind of.
Yes, so it looks like the Securitech you're referring
Right.
to,
Yep.
line items 45, 46, 47. Yeah, so I can tell you 46 and 47 were for work at the trailers, the temporary office location, that's security cameras and our access control.
Okay, yeah.
On all of our exterior doors, and also there's a server room and offices.
Okay.
And then I don't know, Mr. Urinich, if line item 45, it says WRF. It might have, I know that there was work done there also, but there was work done at the water filtration plant as well.
I will check on that. Sometimes when those get entered, it's just, there's multiple things on each invoice. And so it may have had some things for water reclamation listed on there, but that could have been the cost attributed to other work that they had done that day.
Mhm.
But I can check on that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it was more like, I was just curious if it was for the trailers for the new office facility. For temporary office facilities.
Okay. Any other?
So yeah, on 723, line 25, the meter box lids, 200 of them. Are those the new like plastic composite ones that you guys are replacing around?
Yes, they are. That's our standard now. The composite lid that helps with the new meters on the signal, whether it's a radio meter or it's a cellular signal to transmit and receive.
Okay.
Thank you.
But not part of the one that's not anything in the water bundle project?
No, it's not. No, those would be for inventory that we keep on hand.
Okay. There's no further discussion on, we'll close discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Okay, next item is Budget Fund 708, Mr. Monroe.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. At our last meeting, we discussed our involvement in the PFAS settlement. We had received our first payment from Tyco, their portion of our settlement, $109,754.15. Since that meeting, we did receive a second payment, and this represents BASF Chemical Company, and we received a payment in the amount of $45,661.11. We had some discussion at our last meeting that staff was working on a budget fund and also an amendment to our regulations pertaining to these funds that we receive. Again, compared to a lot of our colleagues in Ohio specifically, we're in very good shape as far as treating the PFAS. We know that PFAS is in Lake Erie. The forever chemicals are there because we did testing. But our finished water, which we're regulated on right now, we have non-detect. So everything is below the detection limits. So our current treatment processes are filtering those out, and that's good. But number one, we need to establish a budget fund so that this money can be deposited in there. And staff's recommendation is that this funding be used for in the future for anything related to PFAS, whether it's treatment processes, could be disposal. If we run into sludge disposal at our water reclamation facility. We do not have a specific set of regulations for the board's review yet because we want to make sure that those are crafted very carefully. But we do want to establish this budget fund because of the process. Once the board establishes this, then the finance director would have to go to city council because as we are a budget fund, enterprise fund under the city of Avon Lake, council will have to establish that per ordinance, and then we would file an application with the state auditor for approval. It's a pretty straightforward process, but again, it does take a little bit of time. We have this money has been deposited in our water fund 701. We do have it tracked on our ledger, so Mr. Logan is keeping track of it, and we've also memorialized it to the penny in our official minutes here at the meeting. So we just want to make sure that it's tracked. So we do have a recommended motion to establish the budget fund, and we are continuing to work on these regulations that we would bring to the board for their approval in the near future.
Okay. All right, thank you. There is a recommended motion. Mr. Schnabel, would you like to make that motion?
I move to authorize and direct the Business and Financial Coordinator to establish Budget Fund 708, PFAS Settlement Fund, to be effective July 1st, 2026, and submit to the Auditor of State the request for fund approval form. Furthermore, the Business and Financial Coordinator is instructed to deposit all money received from litigation pertaining to PFAS into this fund. Money within Fund 708 shall be restricted and utilized in accordance with specific regulations adopted by the board for purposes related to PFAS.
I'll second that.
Okay, seconded. Mr. Ricky,
Yep.
Any discussion on this?
I think I asked about this last week when we were discussing this, or 2 weeks ago, but did we talk about the idea of taking any of that money and instead of just sitting it in this fund, like investing some of it? Is that, okay, are we going to consider that just like dumping cities? Like, I don't know if we would dump it in someone's star.
Yes, so that is our intent. So once the budget fund's established, we then, again, it's in our water fund right now, but we would make it part of our customary investments.
Okay, perfect.
So that we're maximizing as much interest as we can.
Perfect.
I mean, there may come a time that maybe we don't even need this money. I hope that's our hope that we don't need it for PFAS, but I think that it is financially responsible to invest that.
Yeah.
And we do have some pretty safe securities as far as whether it's Star Ohio or even if we looked at Fifth Third investments that we approved a couple weeks ago.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Great. Okay, thank you. So any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is project updates, Mr. Yurnich.
All right. I have a couple of pictures here for everybody's viewing pleasure.
Condo.
There we go. All right, so Great Lakes Construction Company, they've completed all of the painting in the new filter areas. All 4 filters have had everything painted. On the outside of the building, they have installed both sets of stairwells. There's 2 new exits that will leave the building. So those will be able to be used shortly. So these are the bases of the carbon silos. They have completed the grouting around the bottom, keep any water from entering underneath there and the freeze and thaw and the problems that could cause. And then in the base, they've got the feed equipment. So the way the current setup is, as soon as we receive a delivery of carbon, it's immediately mixed with water. It sits in a slurry. This new system, it's going to be completely dry within those silos, and then it's going to be fed by water and air injected into the treatment process that way. It allows a much easier setup, allows it to contain actually more carbon in that limited space than it does in our existing setup. One of the main reasons for this upgrade was just because when the plant was originally built in 1980, there was not much of a need, as much of a need for the carbon. They would used to typically stop feeding it during the winter times. We found benefits to using it all year round. So this allows us to utilize one silo. When that becomes empty, we can order a delivery for that while still having an additional silo in reserve. So it's going to be a very welcomed addition.
Can I ask a question on that one?
Sure.
When you transport materials, a solid, and I know grain sizing means a lot, and the shape and how hard it is it abrasive as you're transporting with air and water? And are there consumable parts or pipes that will have to be maintained in the future?
I mean, there is somewhat, the system is designed to really handle those kind of abrasives. So I mean, there is a lifespan to the equipment, but anything that would be a wear item is kind of designed into that to be easily replaceable in the future.
So planned maintenance.
Correct.
Very good. Thank you.
Are there any hazards with storing this product dry on site compared to a slurry?
No,
Okay.
it's taken into account. I mean, same as you would kind of have with grain silos. You have the static electricity protections involved, and obviously it's a no smoking area, and everything is explosion proof as
Okay.
far as the electrical equipment.
Just curious, because I don't know much about activated carbon that's dry.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
And then they have also, they had gone through the startup procedures, the verification testing with the manufacturer. These are the sodium hypochlorite feed pumps. So we're still looking at the middle of this month to begin utilizing the new chemical feeds. Alum is going to be the chemical that they start up first. Mostly because the area that currently holds the alum, they cannot demolish anything into that until the new system is up. And the liquid lime addition that we are looking at, that is going to be installed where the alum is currently housed. That space will be reutilized. So once they complete the startup of the alum equipment, it's gone through all of its acceptance testing, then they can start the demolition of the old area and get moving on the liquid lime. Any questions on the water filtration plant?
No.
Moving on to the, I can address this
Yeah.
now. This is kind of separate from the project updates, but we did have an employee receive his associate's degree in water and wastewater management from Hocking College. Jason Gibney, our water filtration plant manager, completed that in May.
Nice.
And we
Yeah.
definitely are want to provide recognition of that. We're proud of his accomplishment.
Absolutely. He worked very hard in an accelerated program while working full time, managing all of his kids' activities and his family duties. I think he might have even taught a class. He was involved with leadership Lorain County. And he's working on his bachelor's degree. So we want to make sure he recognized for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, you know, the board extends its congratulations.
Absolutely.
Um,
For the TechWin project, really kind of no news is good news. That system is operated continuously for the entire month of May. We are gathering some good production data. This will allow us to really get kind of a true cost of operation. A couple of the variables throughout the winter that really kind of skew the numbers. If we had a permanent installation, the building would be much better insulated. Those costs would be a lot more manageable. The way it is for just this pilot project, having the electric heaters running pretty much continuously through the winter is not going to provide as much relevant data as a situation like this. So we have all those numbers. We're compiling everything. We think if we get a couple more weeks of consistent production, that'll really give us a good indication. But just kind of I guess, a baseline analysis, the numbers are looking very positive so far.
They are.
What are we doing with the bleach?
Right now it's being utilized directly into the wastewater collection system.
Oh, over the wastewater, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just wondered what you were doing. with it.
We have the approval, we have the NSF certification that's needed for the water plant, but we're still using
Yeah,
the liquid
gas.
chlorine, the gas. So once that system starts up, then we can begin using it to supplement the bulk purchases that we make.
gotcha.
Because as we've said in the past, it's not going to produce enough to have our entire supply at the water plant, but it will be able to be used and offset some of what we have to purchase.
Before we get to the end of the trial, I think it'd behoove us to have a board tour of that facility. I actually drove by there today just to see if there was anybody there, just to get just to learn more about it and see how it's running and everything else. So I think it'd probably be a good idea to set something up. I know, I guess only two of us can go at a time, but it'd still be valuable to see the process before we make some big votes on it and, spend some large capital to take that project to the next level. So just a thought to put onto your calendar to think about something like that.
Sure.
So the preliminary evaluation, is it cheaper than buying it in the open market?
What we're seeing right now, and again, we have a small sample size. We have a continuous month of operation with not an excessive use of electric heaters.
Right.
And it is coming in less
Okay,
than what our bid price is for sodium hypochlorite.
right.
And we anticipate that to be even a better price because the cost we're using right now for the salt is a very small purchase type of, it's in bags
Seven bulk.
instead of in bulk.
Okay.
And from in speaking with others, TechWin being one of them, but others, the cost of salt could go down anywhere from 30 to 50% of what you're paying right now. So again, that's going to improve the bottom line of what the actual cost per gallon is, or however you want to evaluate it, cost per ton. But so far, so good. But we want to have a good amount of data.
Okay, and then I'm assuming you're spreading the capital cost over a period of time or its useful life to come up with some costs for everything.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And then just the water bundle project. Underground Utilities Inc. has been going around throughout the project area with staff, kind of going through on a punch list item. During the winter, there wasn't a whole lot they could do as far as restoration, just with, grass seed obviously not being able to really take effect during the winter. So they wanted to go through and kind of finalize all of the restoration, any punch list items from the existing areas that were disturbed. And then they will be heading back to finish up on armor and then kind of moving into the valve work. And then they'll be getting into some of the other parts, the culvert replacement and and some stormwater things that they had. KMU, they are continuing with the indoor water meter relocations. Approximately 275 out of the 419 have been completed.
How far along are we on this project, percentage wise? Half done?
Yeah, I would say definitely half done.
Probably over half done now?
Yes.
Okay. And
I'd say approaching 75%.
you're still thinking the end of the year or
Oh, yeah.
by late fall, we should be in pretty
Yes.
good shape to have this wrapped up? Okay. Because I'm sure there's another water bundle project on the horizon.
We haven't started designing it yet, but
Okay.
we have had, as part of our capital improvement plan discussions, and we absolutely we're already
Got some.
compiling that list.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
I have one just under project updates. Today we held the pre-construction meeting for the administration building expansion project. If you recall, Rycon Construction was awarded that contract. So we had a very good meeting. It was a couple hours long today, but they are planning to mobilize to the site on June 22nd and start with demo work.
Well, they're already digging something out there.
That is our own staff that's digging. We are installing the conduits. Because of the building expansion, there's a step down transformer of our primary voltage. And I would like to say that we were this good that we knew it, but when we installed the other transformer for our additional storage building in the back, First Energy said that we can utilize that as our primary step down transformer. So in essence, we're eliminating the one that's there. We don't have to relocate it, but we do have to run the conduits from the pole back to that. So that our staff's doing that.
I
in
just saw
advance.
some
Yeah.
excavating going on there
Yeah.
today as I.
Yes, that's our own staff. So we're looking forward to that project commencing, and as we're already meeting in our new temporary space here at the Lake House, we are excited to get that project going.
Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is the CUE report, Mr. Monroe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do have just one item to report on this evening, and if you'll bear with me, I just want to get my screen up here. I briefly mentioned it during the other project updates and Mr. Gibney obtaining his associate's degree, but on May 20th, three of our staff members, Mr. Komevsky, Mr. Gibney, and Mr. Hill all graduated from Leadership Lorain County's signature class of 2026. I know Mr. Ricky is an alumni of that program from the very first class.
Yeah.
And I won't say the year, but we know it was a while ago. But I want to commend these three individuals. This was a 10-month program that they committed to. And again, also handling their responsibilities at work and at home. They took part in this, and I want to make sure that they're recognized for that. So congratulations to them. I know that they kind of have a sigh of relief now that the program is over, but they felt it was a very beneficial program for them as part of their professional development. So nice job.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, we certainly congratulate them on their accomplishments.
And that is all I have to report on.
All right, thank you.
Greg.
I do have one thing.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yep.
So we have an employee at the water filtration plant that is reaching his 1-year anniversary. June 9th will be his completion of his first year. Per the collective bargaining agreement, he will receive a step increase from operator in training step 2, moving to operator in training step 3 at $30.14 per hour.
What's his name?
Oh, Caleb Weber.
Okay, thank you. I was going to ask the same thing. Excellent. Okay. Next item on our agenda is member reports or miscellaneous. Anything from the board? Okay. Moving on, public.
Quick question. This is miscellaneous. I'm sure we did. Did we send out little reminder cards this year for the, okay, I'm
For
sure.
backflow.
Mhm.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure mine's in a stack of mail. I already did, but-
They're the nice bright green postcards.
Okay.
So they kind of jump out.
I think a couple
And-
weeks ago.
Yes,
Okay.
they did.
And when, I'm really bad about mail.
15.
And it's due the 15th?
No,
25th,
Of
June
June
25th.
25th is, okay, so.
I happened to see Will before the weekend, and he was working on getting them all entered so he could send out a reminder to those who hadn't done it. I don't know if that went out yet. But he was working on the list for a follow-up letter to those that haven't been completed. That was Friday when I saw him, so.
It's, yeah, so June 25th.
June 25th, yes.
That
Okay.
they need to be received.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
and I assume we can put a couple little blurbs on our Facebook page.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have those planned.
Perfect.
And for everybody without a deduct meter, we are in the
We're in the,
summer
yes, the summer.
summer adjustment section.
Yes.
Yeah, mhm.
June.
June.
1st.
Usually, depending on when the meter read is, it's not a set date.
Plus or minus a couple days.
Mhm.
But yes.
Saved or cheap.
Water away, people.
Right.
Perfect. Okay. Public input, Mr. Urinich, anybody in?
There is not any comments online.
Moving on, there is an item for an executive session. I failed to mention earlier on that executive sessions are done by roll call vote, which we will do as we go through it. The CUE does not anticipate any formal action upon reconvening from the public. So, Mr. Mandela, would you like to make that motion?
Yes, I move to meet in executive session as allowed by Ohio Revised Code subsection 121.22 G2 and G3 to discuss the purchase and or sale of property for public purposes and pending or imminent court action, and to include the CUE, the CUO, and a representative from Manzer Gavin.
Okay. And I will second that motion because it's a roll call vote. Mr. Mandela,
Yes.
Mr. Schnabel,
Yes.
Mr. Ricky,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Okay, we'll adjourn to executive session or reconvening the meeting.